Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for Saggy here in mid-June? It is Gemini season. What's happening? What energies, insights, all that good stuff, messages. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. Well, let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in mid-June, please and thank you. Let's get this first card out here. And deck is jumping up and down and wants to talk. There we go. That card came out nice and quick. Beautiful. Okay, so this is a few different things to me, Sagittarius, and you might be in one of these camps or you might be both, because to me it could either be someone laying low, but there's also a very beautiful aesthetic here as well. So some of you might just be like doing your own thing. That's possible. We'll talk about that in a moment, though. There's a little complexity to it. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit more about this card. So I always say this is a beautiful card because aesthetically it's really nice. So you see this flock of birds. I'm not sure if they're swans or geese. They're some type of bird though, and we have this woman dressed in costume within this group. So the first thing I always think of here is someone trying to lay low. I mean, you might be in hermit mode in this time, or there could just be something where it's like, I don't want to cause any waves. I don't want no drama. I'm just doing my own thing. Like, to me, this is just someone doing their own thing, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? It could be someone you're connected to in this energy as well, where it's like, all right, I don't want problems. I don't want to upset this person. It's like not walking on eggshells, but laying low, if that makes sense. Now, if that's not the case, I always say this could represent aesthetics because it's so beautiful and this woman's in costume. There might be something you're changing about your look. So you see how it's like two totally opposite different types of messages. So for some Saggies, now is a great time to switch up the wardrobe or try a new look or anything surrounding aesthetics and how you present yourself to the world could be here. But once again, it could just be laying low. So we're just going to put that down right there. Let's get into tarot now. And I would say this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Saggies, please. And while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Lots of fire last week, that is for sure. And always remember the energies, they could bleed over for a couple weeks. Your reading was titled An Explosive Talk. And it was making me feel a couple different things, whether it was someone you haven't heard from in a while or a talk that like spins out of hand. It had all that fire energy connected to it. So there could be big topics around communication that still persist for quite a while. So whether it's people popping up or just things picking up steam, we'll see how it turns out. We'll see what shows up in this week's reading, though. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going here. 3 cards for my Saggy friends, please and thank you. Okay, what do we got here? In mid-June, Gemini season. Okay, oh, all right, so we're starting with a very positive card, that's for sure. The most positive card. So I don't want to get too overly amped up about it, but when we start with the sun, this is really nice. The fire energy is still lingering around, so let's get a couple more out here. What do we got for Saggy, please? Thank you. The Fool card, another very, very positive card. Your 2 fellow fire signs are showing up here as well. Okay. Let's get one more card out here, then we'll really start to speak on it. But I like it. There's a lot of enthusiasm with this. And Temperance. So we have like a grand fire trine here, literally. We have your card. So, I mean, the fire signs are representing in your reading this week, Sagittarius, and I do not think it's an accident. So we're going to have to talk about it. Let's go through. I think this is going to be a very intriguing reading. Lots of details should come. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So as I told you, I was making a little commentary about the stuff that's happening. Similarities are huge here because we have all fire element again, just like we saw last week. We have Leo, we have Aries, we have Sagittarius, so it's like that triangle trine of fire energy, which could be very big. This could be really good for a lot of you. It all depends on how it all plays out. And again, major arcana are about major chapters in our lives, or major energies that are working their way through. And these cards are all positive on their face, so I'm liking what I'm seeing here so far. Let's go through one by one and get a little bit more detail and build this out. So position number one, the sun, I already mentioned, Leo energy, the most positive card in the whole entire deck. And when I see this, I think of wins and victories. To me, this is a very spiritual energy as well. That's what it shares with this temperance on the back end. The sun to me is like source energy, the light, life, and love that shine on us from source. So it's really beautiful. It represents growth. It's warm. It's a really nice positive vibe for us to start with. So it's best possible scenario, or best case scenario, when the sun is here. Now, if we are to look into this deeper, I always say that every card is a duality. They all have positives, and even the most positive card does have a bit of challenge connected to it. And I could say the same for the next card. It has a similar challenge. The sun could represent revealing things, or things coming to light, because that's what the sun does. It casts light on everything. Nothing can hide in the shadows when the sun is out there shining. So for a lot of Saggies, whether it's a realization you have, a revelation where it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, you're connecting dots, or even just a piece of information that you didn't know about, like you're surprised by something, or something unexpected pops up. The sun could really be in play when it comes to that, but we're going to have to clarify it further. That's what I think is the challenge. It's also very intense energy, and that is something that all of these cards do share. Even your card, Temperance, all of these fire energies are highly, highly intense. Now, position number two, we have the Fool. Here we go with the first sign of the zodiac and the protagonist of the tarot deck. We have the Fool card, Aries energy. It's about action. It's about initiating things. It usually represents new paths, new journeys, new chapters, new cycles. It's very, very good. It's optimistic. It's jovial. It's happy. So when I'm seeing it right next to the sun and right next to Temperance, I'm like, whoa, all right, something huge could be coming up for a lot of the people in the Sagittarius collective. Could be an action you're about to take, or an action that somebody else is going to take when this is here. But when we get to the rougher aspects of the Fool, it could represent spontaneity, something you don't see coming, or somebody acting in a way that you don't quite expect. Like, there is this level of unexpected with the Fool. Notice it's always about to walk off the cliff there. So when I see it next to the sun and next to this, and it's like, okay, things are going according to plan. We're just going to have to see how it shows up, because both of these cards could have little levels of mystery to it, but on its face, very positive and good. Something new that could be coming in. As we get to the back end, we might have the crux of the reading here, because we have your card, the beautiful Temperance card with Archangel Michael on it. So a little bit of a difference with this card than I see with the others. I link the Saggy card with spiritual protection. Okay, so guardian angels, your guides, your spirit team, ancestors, however you want to label it. When the Archangel Michael's here, it's like, all right, you are protected. So some of you might need that reassurance or assurance that, like, okay, you're being helped, or you're being assisted from another place. Aside from that, this is a card of temperance, and which is patience, right? So I know some people could get frustrated by this card sometimes, where it's like, okay, it's taking forever, something's taking so long, but this doesn't have to be. This could be a card of peace. It could be tranquility. And when we see it with all this other stuff, I am liking it so far. Now, since it is a Sagittarius reading, this holds extra weight, especially if you're a Sagittarius and you're not cross-watching. It could tell us the way you're going to be feeling, something particular that could be coming in for you. So we're going to want to see what's up. But where the challenges come with the Temperance cards, it could represent being impatient with something, or something just sticking around for quite a while, or something that's lingering. But again, all this fire energy, like all connecting with each other, there's a lot of action. There's something brewing. There's something building up. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my Saggy friends. Let's see what's happening. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the sun. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Saggy, You drop it right down in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the sun here? What is this about? King of Swords in reverse, though. Okay, so now we have the fire-air mixture coming in, and I do see the surprising energy, and I feel like it's extremely positive for a lot of you. And I'll explain to you the logic and why this is like clicking in my brain. Because when this King of Swords showed up in reverse, normally that's a bit of a rough one, like if we were reading this classically. But to me, it's like, okay, we have the fire-air, the explosive energy is still in the mix, but to me, it's like a winner victory that's like coming out of nowhere. That's very surprising. Remember, the sun has a lot of mystery that could be revealed when it's in the mix. A thing about the King of Swords, if it's not representing a person, I mean, there might be an individual where it's like, okay, well, no, I know about this person. I know what I need to know. So for a very small portion of you, if you're having difficulties with a person, it's like, no, I know the truth, or I know what I need to know about this person. There is no mystery there. But if we're talking about something totally different, King of Swords is usually very strict, on point, logical, planning. It's all about strategy. So when I see it in reverse, mixing the fire with the air and the strategy is in reverse, it's like unplanned. So I feel for a lot of Saggies, there could be a surprising or unexpected winner victory here. And I feel like it's really, really claimable, especially the way we mix the meanings with the energies. I feel like it's like, boom, it's coming in real good. So we'll see how it plays as we move through the reading. Lots of energy being initiated here. So it's like the spark plug here, and we'll see how it all lapses. It could be a chain reaction of a good kind, though. I feel for a lot of Saggies, there's something that's going to go your way and you don't quite see it just yet, which could be nice. So let's keep moving. I don't want to get too locked up in there. Could be a surprising or unexpected win here. Really good. So let's go in on the Fool. And again, just to say, if this is a person that you're dealing with or having issues with in this time, I feel like you know the deal. Like that's kind of the vibe. Like I know what I know, and there's no surprise there. So let's go in on the Fool card. Quick, very quick. Okay, yeah, more fire air showing up here underneath the Fool. All right, so for a lot of you, there's going to be options or offers coming in that you don't see coming either. So I feel like this is really good. Now we're getting a lot of people notice so far. I'm going to be surprised if we get another sword card here. All fire, all air, but the air is in reverse. Okay, so yeah, we have this like spark plug chain reaction thing happening here, and I feel like they're very good. I think for a lot of Sagittarians in this time, there's going to be a lot of dynamic shifting in your life, where like your life is going to take different directions, different paths that you don't quite see. Like there could be big shakeups for a lot of you. Just keep that in mind, especially with what I'm picking up here. Now the Knight of Swords is usually forward movement, forward momentum, going at something really, really fast. In reverse, it's like slow and steady. So if things have been hectic for you recently, or like your head's been in a lot of different places, or just things have been like crazy, when I see the Knight of Swords in reverse underneath the Fool card, yeah, there's this action coming in, these possible offers and opportunities that you don't see coming that are, once again, surprising. But I feel like you're moving into a much more serene type of energy. That's how this feels to me. Unplanned, but serene as well. So it's like, all right, this is better. This is more like it. I'm liking the way this energy is flowing. So it feels good to me. Let's keep moving forward. I feel like we don't need to linger here. Very simple. So let's see what Temperance has to say, because that is your card. You're going to have an interesting week, my friends. That's for sure. That's one thing I could definitely say. Because another thing, like with both of these sword court cards here, they're very intellectual and they usually see things and plan and all that. When they're both in reverse, that's like a recipe for things happening that you didn't plan for. But I feel like they're positive. So let's go in on Temperance. Why is Temperance here? Then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow. Oh, cool. Very cool. I like this. Now, it's odd that the Ten of Swords is coming out in reverse, and I'm saying I like this, but I'm going to explain the reason, okay? And there is very valid reasoning here within this. Now, the Ten of Swords, the best way we want to receive it is in reverse, okay? Now, I do feel for a lot of Saggies in this time, if there is something you are grieving from, if there is something that you've lost or an ending that you've been grappling with for quite a while, this is a beautifully healing type of energy. And a lot of you could find acceptance in that, okay? Or maybe you already have, and energy is just showing up in spirit saying like, listen, Saggy, you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. I'm liking this. because of that reason alone. Now let's talk about the Ten of Swords is the complete opposite of what we see here with the Sun, right? Where this one's the most positive. This is probably one of the rougher cards in the whole entire deck, and it represents endings and things closing. And I did say for a lot of you, there could be your life shifting in different patterns and places in this time, where right now it might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like this Ten of Swords. It might not feel too great. But when I see it in reverse underneath Temperance, it's like everything is fine. Everything will be okay. You are protected. Like that's another vibe I'm picking up here. Very strong around the spiritual connection and protection, which is really, really nice. Okay, the Ten of Swords in reverse has already happened. There's nowhere to go but up. That's the vibe we're picking up here. So I'm liking it. Again, though, it's intriguing how we have all this elemental mixing happening where it's like all fire along the top, all swords across the bottom. It's explosive still, just like we had last week. But let's go through and do a quick recap because I feel good things coming towards you. I really, really do. But now's a great time for healing and acceptance. But let's go through piece by piece. Then we'll get to the shadow. Position number one, we have the most positive card in the deck. We have the Sun card with the King of Swords in reverse. So yeah, it did feel like a surprising, unexpected winner victory coming in here. Something you haven't planned for. It's like, okay, well, I didn't plan for this, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to flow with it. It feels really good and positive. So I feel a nice energy moving towards a lot of the Saggies here. If it is about a person, okay, if you've been having dealings with a person, a particular individual, Spirit could be saying like, all right, well, or you, the energy around you is like, okay, well, I understand what it is. Like there is no mystery here. I understand why this person is the way they are. It's like you get it. You understand it. Moving to the center, we have the Fool card with the Knight of Swords in reverse. So if things have been hectic, they're going to start to calm down a little bit. I did say for a lot of you, there could be an offer, opportunity, a new path opening up for you out of nowhere. And we see it here because the Fool's a new journey. So I feel like for a lot of you, there could be big changes happening, like in certain dynamics in your life. Onto the back end, and that might be something you need, right? Especially if you've been dealing with certain energies for a long time, like certain pains. Because we have Temperance, your card with the Ten of Swords in reverse. Spirit saying, hey, there's nowhere to go but up from here. It's like there's going to be positive on positive, like it's going to start going up. And life is always going to have difficulties. Life is always going to have challenges. But I feel in the big scheme, a lot of you are moving into a very positive time frame. The Ten of Swords in reverse, also, that's a pain you could have been holding on for quite a while. Now might be a great time to shine a little light on it and do some healing. So please take a screenshot of that. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. And remember, these are short-term energies because it's a weekly reading, but I'm loving what I'm seeing here. I think you guys are going to have an interesting week, even if you're cross-watching for a Saggy. But let's get you a shadow card. See what's in the shadows for Saggy, my gods. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. I really do. Okay, shadow card time. What do we got for my good friends? Quick, very, very quick, and even more fire. So it's like fire on fire on fire on fire. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands here showing up in the shadows. There could be something you're dealing with where it's like a little more difficult than you thought it would be, or just like keep that in mind, whether there are transitions or things happening in your life. Make sure you're taking time to rest and recuperate as well. Remember, we did see possible healing here in the main part of the spread. Now, the Ten of Wands can be burdensome. It is a card of determination and moving things forward, which is really good. This is that can't quit, won't quit type of attitude, which is really nice, and a lot of fire signs are known for that, in my opinion. But the Ten of Wands could be burdensome. I will say for a lot of you, take care of your health, okay? Your physical health and vitality when this shows up. Don't overwork yourself. Don't overdo things. Like pace yourself. That's very big when this card shows up, especially for a good chunk of you. Watch areas like your neck, back, and spine when the Ten of Wands shows up, because I don't want you to tweak it or anything like that, but I'm just giving you the message how it comes through. But again, I feel for a lot of you, you need some sort of energetic recuperation. when this shows up in the shadows, because you might have been dealing with something for quite a while. But yeah, that's what I have for you this week, Saggy. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my digital calendar is open on mastermetaphysics.com, so go ahead and check that out. And if you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this weekend's readings. But for the June subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments if you could snap your fingers and visit anywhere in the world right now, where would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.